Hi guys, welcome to this video. If you're new here, my name is Rachelle. Today's video is going to be another shifting video. Okay, so I have been attempting to shift quite often these past couple of months. There were many times where I did not shift, but there were also a couple of times where I did succeed in shifting. So in this video, I will be sharing with you a few of my successful shifting to Hogwarts stories. But before we get into my shifting stories, let me introduce you to Anna Luisa, who is the sponsor of today's video. Thank you, Anna Luisa, for sponsoring this video. Now, you guys know from my videos, I always go for a very casual look. My clothing is usually pretty simple, basic, and minimalistic. I'm constantly wearing plain t-shirts or sweaters. I love dressing down so I can dress up my outfit a little bit with some jewelry. But something I do not have a lot of yet in my jewelry collection is gold jewelry, which is why this partnership with Anna Luisa is so perfect, because they have a wide selection of quality luxury gold jewelry without those luxury markups. There are pieces on their website that start as little as $39. What I really love about Anna Luisa is their approach to sustainable fashion. They have managed to offset 100% of carbon emissions, starting with how they source their raw materials all the way to the disposal of their pieces. Something you should also know about Anna Luisa's jewelry is that they are all hypoallergenic, which is so important to me because I have very sensitive skin, and if I'm not careful with what I'm wearing, my skin might react to it, which is not fun. So I'm so glad that I do not have to worry about getting an allergic reaction when I wear jewelry from Anna Luisa. They were so kind, and they sent my way 3 of their pieces. The first piece I received are these stud earrings I'm currently wearing. The name of this style is Boa. I have been wanting to add more edgy pieces to my earring collection for the longest time, and these snake earrings definitely do give off that vibe. The second piece I got is this ear cuff. This style is called the Antoinette. This piece is absolutely stunning. I do not have a cartilage piercing yet, so what I love most about this piece is that you do not need a piercing to wear it. And last but not least, I also have one of their necklaces. This is the Lev style. This heart necklace is absolutely adorable. I love how simple it is, yet it still stands out with any outfit I wear. So if you feel like treating yourself to a little something, I will have my link in the description box below. They currently have a summer sale going on, so the entire website is 20% off. So you can browse the website and knock yourself out and get everything you want or need. These pieces I'm currently wearing are on the website as well, so if you like these and you want to match and twin with me, definitely go check them out. Anna Luisa also does ship internationally, and you know that makes your Canadian gal over here very happy. Again, thank you so much, Anna Luisa, for sponsoring today's video, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright guys, I am so excited to tell you guys these stories. So the first story I have for you is on my second day of my 6th year at Hogwarts. I woke up in my dorm bed and I looked around the room and everyone was still sleeping, including Hermione. So that's when I knew it was still early in the morning. Who knew I would be awake earlier than Hermione? Because honestly, Hermione seems like an early riser to me. Anyways, because it was early in the morning, I wanted to go to the Owlery. I wanted to send a note to my parents saying that I arrived at Hogwarts, because if you remember from the last time I shared my shifting story with you guys, the morning I left for Hogwarts, I didn't see my parents because they left early for work. So yeah, I just wanted to send them a note saying that I arrived at Hogwarts and that I'm doing well. When I got to the Owlery, I saw Cho Chang sitting there, and if you didn't know, I scripted that Cho was my cousin. But we are so close, it's more like we're sisters than cousins. Anyways, I asked her if she was sending a letter, and she was like, yeah, I sent one to my parents like a while ago. And I was thinking, a while ago? So like, why is she still sitting here? And I asked her that, and she was like, it's quite comforting sitting with the owls early in the morning because it's quiet and peaceful. And then she was like, I do this a lot and you should join me more often. It's just a really good start to your day. I didn't respond to her because as much as I love her, I don't think I can wake up early that often. Like, it was early that day. Then I began to write my note to my parents and I watched my owl fly away with it. So after I wrote my letter, I just sat in the Owlery for a little bit with Cho. For a little bit we didn't talk or anything, and she was so right. It is so peaceful up there. Owls make great company, not gonna lie. Then I just started a conversation with Cho, and I was like to her, I can't believe this is your last year at Hogwarts. Because Cho was 1 year older than me, she's in her 7th year. I was like to her, Hogwarts won't be the same when you're not around. You know, I began to feel that feeling when you're separated from your friends. I was going through that little moment. after I had my little moment, I asked her what she plans on doing after Hogwarts. And she was like, I absolutely have no idea. I think I'm just gonna go with the flow of things. That is honestly one thing I love about Cho from my DR. She just doesn't stress, she just trusts the path life takes her on. I honestly feel like everybody needs that kind of person in their life. Then I went down for breakfast and Ron and Harry were already stuffing their faces with food. And of course, Hermione was there making her way through a stack of textbooks. I straight up was like to Hermione here, really? We haven't even been or started classes yet and you're already studying? And then she responded saying, I like to get a head start. And I was pretty much like, of course you do. Then Ron, with a mouthful of food, asked me about my schedule. I answered him, but I was just thinking that's so typical of you to just speak with your mouth full of food. It's gross, but that's so Ron. So after breakfast, Harry, Ron, Hermione, and I all had potions first. And guess who was there in our class? Draco was there. Draco Malfoy. So the table Ron, Harry, Hermione chose to sit at was full, and that left me sitting with Draco. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, when I sat with Draco, I didn't hate it. You know, he can be quite good company when he's not your arch enemy and he doesn't hate your guts. During class, Ron kept on looking at me this way and I was just like, what? I honestly did not know what his problem was with me. So after class, Ron came over to me and was like, how can you be so friendly with Draco? And I was like, I don't know, I guess I haven't really done anything to offend him or give him a reason to hate me. I mean, I scripted that I'm a pureblood and my family is civil with his, so I really don't have any personal issues with him. And then I was like to Ron, just because I don't like his personality doesn't mean I can't be nice to him. At which Ron then rolled his eyes at me. I honestly really love the friendship I have with Ron. I'm just so sarcastic with him that it's just so fun. The next story I have for you is like a few days later. My first class of that day was herbology, but nothing interesting happened, so I'm just gonna skip over that part. After herbology though, I had transfiguration. Let me just say that Professor McGonagall is pretty intimidating. It's just the way she carries herself and she's just so professional when she talks. Anyways, in that class, we were learning how to turn cauldron cakes into cabbages. And of course, Hermione was the first person to succeed in class. No surprise there. Then it was Harry. The next thing that happened in that class was so funny because Seamus set his cauldron cake on fire. I honestly could not stop laughing and therefore I couldn't focus on the spell. Professor McGonagall then came up to me and was like, if you don't stop laughing, you're gonna get detention. And when she left to go see another student, Ron started laughing at me. McGonagall heard him laughing and gave him detention right off the bat. I don't know why, but that made me laugh so hard, which also got me detention as well that night. That afternoon, I didn't have any classes, so I spent it with Cho. We were sitting outside under a tree. Cedric, who's not dead in my DR and who's also dating Cho, he came by and sat with us. We just talked about Quidditch and how Cedric is the captain of the Hufflepuff team and how he's also the Seeker. Cho said that she was gonna try out for Seeker again because her captain wasn't just gonna give out spots. And when she said that, I was like, oh my god, same! Because Harry, who is the captain of the Gryffindor team, was being a pain in the ass and wasn't gonna let us onto the team without attending tryouts, even though he knows that we're good at Quidditch. So therefore, I had to try it again for Chaser. Then a few of Cedric's Hufflepuff buddies who I did not know came along, and they were like, we should all hang out and do something. Even though I didn't know any of them, Cho invited me to tag along with them, but I told her I couldn't because I had detention tonight. So I parted ways with them. In detention, McGonagall separated Ron and I. Ron got stuck with assisting Filch with whatever he needed. Glad that wasn't my destiny. And I spent my detention with McGonagall in her office. She was like, I suppose you have quite a bit of homework already. So she just told me to use this detention time to do my homework. I really appreciated that she didn't make me do lines or anything because I actually did have a lot of work to do. It was just really nice of her to give me designated homework time. Even though she can be quite intimidating, I have mad respect for her. Alright, so I have one more story to tell you guys. This was another day and it was the first day we had Defense Against the Dark Arts for the year. So in my DRs, Snape is a Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher for us in the 6th year. I was actually so nervous and afraid for this class because Snape, as you probably know, is a very scary teacher. If you've been following along with my videos, you know that Snape is one of my favorite characters in the series. I actually love him so much because of how mean he is. You know, it's funny until you're on the receiving end. Snape literally walked into class with such arrogance and he was like,
Open your books to page 113.
In that Snape voice. Just imagine Alan Rickman doing that Snape voice. Anyways, in that class, I made sure to sit beside Hermione and not Ron or Harry in that matter, just so I would be less likely to get in trouble. I do not want to be in detention with Snape. Who knows what he'll make me do. Later that day, we had Quidditch tryouts, and this part is honestly my favorite part of the story. Harry, Ron, and I were walking onto the Quidditch field, and Ginny caught up with us on the field, and she was like to Harry, why do you gotta hold tryouts? I mean, you basically know who you're gonna choose for the team anyways. And for that, I high-fived her because I completely agreed. During the Chaser tryouts, not to brag or anything, but Ginny and I creamed the rest of them because we each scored 5 goals each. The funny part was during the Keeper tryouts because Ginny and I teamed up against Ron. We aimed at the goal, but we intentionally threw it so hard at him that he was able to block it, but it did hurt him a bit. And then when tryouts were finished, he came for us and was like, you intentionally threw that hard at me. And Ginny was like, no, we didn't. This is how we usually play. I did the smart thing and kept my trap shut because I did not want to get caught in the middle of their sibling quarrel. That probably would not end well for me. Ron was pretty pissed at us, so when he left, I was like to Ginny, I feel bad. And Ginny was like, he's fine. It's just a couple of bruises, that's all. Then she was like, it could have been worse. I mean, at least we didn't make him fall off his broom. That was what made me laugh so hard. And that definitely made me feel a little less guilty. Back in the Gryffindor common room, Ron was sitting on the sofa and he was icing his arm in hand. And when Ginny and I walked by, we just looked away and tried to hold in our laughs as we walked to the dorms. Honestly, I really love being friends with Ginny. We just have so much fun picking on Ron. Alright friends, those are all the stories I have for you today. I hope you liked this video. If you want to share with me your own shifting experiences and stories, comment them down below in the comment section. I absolutely love reading about your stories and experiences. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and follow me on my social media. You can find all the links to my social media down in the description box below. And thank you again, Ana Luisa, for sponsoring this video. Don't forget you can check them out at the link in my description box and get 20% off their entire website as part of their summer sale. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!
Pull the key out the ignition. Run your mouth but I never listen. You hold me back, will never last. Keep talking all your shit. Wondering how all this started. You left me broken hearted. You flip my words, yeah, this love hurts. Keep talking all your shit.